A talented and handsome engineer and machinist on a secret mission traveling to some space station in a sparsely populated region of space, then forced to crash land on an alien world after disaster strikes to the very station he was traveling to. So begins a harrowing story of survival on a hostile and strange alien world. FortressCraft Evolved is a 3D voxel-based procedurally generated factory building and exploration game with a dash of tower defense and combat elements thrown in for a little bit of flavor. Sounds intimidating, doesn't it? And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was actually a little bit for myself too, but like other games of this genre, the more you play and the more you understand the mechanics, the more you're gonna like it. FortressCraft Evolved was fully released on Steam in November of 2015 for the low price of $13.99 Canadian. Now there has been some controversy over whether or not the game should have been released as early access or not, as the game still shows some minor signs of being a little incomplete. However, so far, in my experiences, these pieces that you occasionally discover that appear to be absent are really minor, like icons for an object or some missing text in the help guide. While these are important, I have found that so far in my experiences with FortressCraft, it hasn't affected my enjoyment of the game. Your opinion may differ on that, but so far it really hasn't bothered me all that much, as long as the objects are working. That being said, I've yet to actually make it too far into it, so my opinion on that may change. The developer of this game is ProjectorGames, and I will say that the team, and I think it is a very small team, is still very actively working on this title, and is even doing so on their Twitch channel. So I'm going to leave a link below in the description as to where you can find them. It's really interesting, actually, how active this team, or I'm not sure if it's just one man or it's an entire team. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit further. But yeah, check it out in the description, and yeah, it's worth a look. As you can see, there is also multiplayer in this game, and we had the opportunity to try that on Sunday, this last Sunday, right after the Crash Test Indie stream, where we showcased FortressCraft Evolved, and we had 4 players, as well as myself, in a world building a factory. It was really interesting, although I found that there wasn't enough for everybody to do at the beginning, and that may change later on as you get into more of the mid game, and there is definitely more things that need to be done. But I found at the beginning it was kind of boring for a couple people. I mean, aside from building, you know, like little stone houses and, you know, kind of terraforming the land and stuff, there wasn't really a lot for everybody to do. I mean, there is exploration and stuff, but yeah, that was the only thing that we noticed about multiplayer. Now, I will be trying to post some of the multiplayer streams that we do have, possibly on another channel in the future, but for now, if you want to watch us play, we're gonna be probably doing that every Sunday, I think, for a little bit, right after our Crash Test Indie stream. Yeah, and of course, you can check out their Twitter, at FortressCraft, and I think, like I said, I don't know if it's one guy or if it's multiple guys that are building this, but it seems to be one guy that's very active. And yeah, so for today, we're gonna be building a brand new world. And I will say this is going to be a long series, guys. This is going to be a very long series, and I'm gonna make it even worse by making this a more difficult world. So first of all, let's call this will be the new Deluks. Hold on, let's turn off caps lock. Deluks. Deluxoria. Oh, No. Deluks. Oria Township Shireville. Yay! Deluxoria Township Shireville. I love it. Okay, so that is the name of the town. Yeah, like I said, I like to play with, when I'm playing on my own, I like to play with a little bit more difficult settings. So that's what we're gonna do, which means this game is going to, it's going to be a long game. On that note, as we continue to play, I'm going to do things like, I'm gonna be doing some jump cuts. And we'll talk about that in a second, actually. Let's set this up. So, resource level I want scarce, and that affects multiple metrics, multiple things in the game, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Power level, I'm gonna leave on as plentiful because, I don't know, with low power and scarce, I don't know, it's too much. And conveyor speed, I like that it's slow. I don't know, just a personal preference. It does affect gameplay, of course. If you have slow conveyor belts, then of course your material is not moving as fast on the conveyor belts. So yeah, it's a thing, but I like it that way. And death mode, I do like to have a consequence for death. That way I don't get really stupid, because if I don't have that, I just get out of control. So, and everything else I'm gonna leave as default. So day night cycle normal, mob difficulty normal. Of course, your bad guys. Rush mode, I'm not even sure what this does. Rush mode, it's locked. So I have no idea what that means. But anyway, so that is our starting setup. So yes, before I continue on, like I said, this is going to be a long series, and I'm going to be probably doing jump cuts for multiple different reasons. One, possibly because I need to wait for resources to be produced or waiting for them to be smelted. So I'm going to do either this, yes, my little page flip, or my typical, yes, bars in tune. And it may also be because, you know, I'm having an absence seizure and I just stop talking and whatever. So anyway, there we go. So that's a thing. That's how we're going to do it. So we're going to create our world. And before we do that, I'm going to turn the sound back on. So be right back. All right, away we go. Loading Deluxoria Township Shireville. Deluxoria Township Shireville. There we go. There we go. So yeah, here we are. We're traveling to the space station. We're going to get all the supplies we need to survive for an indefinite amount of time. And we're going to be able to build anything we want immediately without doing any research. Oh, balls. I hate it when that happens. Oh, there used to be sound effects during this part. I don't know why I don't have sound effects here anymore. I do have the sound on. I did turn down music because music is apparently, I don't know. With YouTube, you got to be careful with music anyway. But I've heard something about music from this game getting flagged. So yeah, there's a storyline, right? We were traveling to some space station, and yeah, we got knocked down, and we're on a brand new procedurally generated world, which is very exciting. So welcome to the tutorial. The force field will disappear when the tutorial is completed. So the tutorial is pretty basic, so we're just going to get that out of the way and then get to business. Because I can't really show you any of the mechanics in the game while we're in this tutorial, which is actually quite short and really doesn't show you much anyway. So we'll just follow the instructions here. Press E, then add resources to this CPH to make power. CPH stands for Central Power Hub. This device came down with you apparently, and we currently have some, or I don't even know if I can open my inventory. No, I can't even open my inventory to show you. But we came down, we have a little bit of coal in our pocket. Why we have coal? I don't know. There's no explanation here. So we're gonna add resources. Oh, actually, because we played on the scarcity level, we came down with wood in our pocket, which actually isn't even as good as coal. So I'm gonna move through this fairly quickly because we did start on the higher difficulty. And now we can actually, this here is a battery. So the CPH produces power from that wood. It's burning the wood, producing power, putting it into the hub. The hub then takes that power and puts it into things that are attached to the hub. Like there's a research station, there is a smelter, there is a manufactory, and there is also a little battery called a power storage. Why it's not called battery, I don't know. But anyway, and we can use Q to suck that power from the battery and put it into our suit. If you look at the top left corner, we have our suit power level, and we need to keep that topped up in order for our suit to do a number of things like heal us and keep us warm. So, and then we've got this little device, which we now have access to, which is kind of like a little tricorder, which we can use for a number of different purposes. Right now, we can actually use it to scan blocks that we've never, to research. So we can scan unknown blocks. So you can see in the bottom left, it says unknown block detected, and we can hold down the right mouse button to scan that block. And that puts it in our little queue for research. So we can go to this little device here, which is our little research bot, or research block, I guess you could call it. And we hit the E button, and that opens up the research panel. Research at this point is instantaneous if you have the power to do it. Like I said, power comes from the CPH, goes into the research block, and then it comes into here in this form. So right now we have 793 power available, and we can use 35 to identify the block that we just scanned with our tricorder. So that's what we're gonna do, and that will give us 1 research point. And we can use that research point to instantaneously research a number of things. Now, this eventually it's not going to be instantaneous. Eventually, research becomes this long, drawn-out, fun and interesting process. But right now, it's super fast and easy. Oh, look, there's Arthur. Arthur is our broken personal assistant. We need to repair Arthur. Poor Arthur isn't working properly. He needs a power core. Well, how convenient. The tutorial is telling us to build a power core for Arthur. So we hit E on the keyboard. We can go to our building menu on the manufactory, and we can find Arthur upgrades, which is right here, Arthur power core, and for 2 copper bars, which we just so happen to have 2 copper bars because we always carry 2 copper bars with us, and we can craft that power core. And guess what? The tutorial is over, and the power core, we'll just wait. Usually a little help thing. Yeah, and then the help thing comes up and tells you it's there, and the help isn't bad. The help isn't bad. There's lots of good information. For example, it tells you, so reference, I think, tells you whatever, tells you everything that you have available to you, and I think research. Yeah, so if you go to research, you can actually look at the available projects, and I think whatever you have researched already, I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time in here. I think, yeah, here we go, contextual help. So yeah, we've only researched snow, so that's the only thing that's here. And as we research more blocks, of course, it'll appear in our help too as well. So here we are. We're in a strange, unknown, hostile, cold, dark planet. There's our ship burning away. That did not look like it was good. So this ship will eventually stop burning, but right now it's burning away, and look, I can see underneath of it. There is a resource, a surface resource. So we are playing with scarce resource levels, which means it's going to be harder to find resources, and it's going to cost more resources to refine them. It's a double whammy, and it's probably very dark. So let's add some lights around here so that we can actually you guys can actually see a little bit of what's going on. So we start off with 5 torches. If you look at our bar there, we've got our utility bars. We've got tab 1, F2, F3, F4, etc. And you can add items to that bar pretty easily just by going bloop and putting it where you want it. Now, eventually, we're going to organize this in a very more natural way for me. Right now, there's really not a lot to do. So this Arthur core, as long as we have in our inventory, it works. If we ever die and lose this, then of course Arthur will no longer have the core. So we have to try and keep ourselves from dying. So we also have to keep this this power hub pumped with resources right now, or pumped with power, so that because our suit level at night. So let's talk about our suit. So in the top left corner, if you've already played this game and you've experienced all this stuff, first of all, I apologize. I have to go through this tutorial stuff. For those of you that are new to the game, we need to explain this so that we're all on the same page. So on the top left, we have our suit. At the top of the suit indicator there, we have our health in hearts. Now, our suit will heal us if we get damaged, and we get damaged a number of different ways. By falling, that's probably the most common way, or by walking near something really, really hot like this. Should start to take damage. Oh, look. Oh, there we go. So we start to take damage, and you'll notice that that little blue bar is there, and it's healing us. So the suit is actually healing us as we walk around, but that costs power. So you notice on the right side where it says environmental hazard level, it shows that battery use rate. We actually start using more of our suit level, our suit power, when we start healing and or it's really cold, because the suit's always trying to maintain the proper temperature of about 19 to 22 degrees of suit internal temperature. So if it's really cold outside, you're going to use a lot of power. And at night, there's really not a lot you can do to get power except for from your CPH, which we can gather from this little battery thing. Now, during the day, and it's just starting to turn light out now, and I'm kind of waiting for it to turn light before we start doing too much, that way everybody can see everything. And during the day, Arthur here has a solar panel built into him, so he can actually recharge us, which is really great. He's actually telling us right now, power low, recharging at 3.5%, and it's going to increase. And also, our CPH also has a big solar panel. I don't even know if I can get up on top of it. Not really, but you get the idea. It's got a solar panel on top of it, so during the day, it also gets extra power. So although we do want to keep feeding it resources to get more power, notice our hub power level is actually at 0, because it's still trying to top up the power for the research station. It's still at 1012 out of 1500, and it's trying to put power into the refinery, which also has its own little power meter here too as well. And then once those are full, and including the battery as well, and then once those are full, it's going to just add surplus power in here. So it's like a big battery itself, which is great, except it's never enough. It may seem like enough at the beginning, but it's never enough. You're going to eventually start to get to a point where you need to add on to your power systems and upgrade, of course, Arthur, upgrade the suit, all these things that improve your power systems. You'll also notice on the top left, it says 0M, which stands for 0 meters. That stands for how deep we are underground. So right now we're at 0 meters. Theoretically, I don't know when it becomes, I guess we start out at 0 meters. So you notice as we go down one level, it's now -2, or 2 levels, -3, and then -4, etc. So some of the ores and resources that we're going to have to gather are going to be at -1000 meters or more. I've heard stories that it's going to be crazy. I have to go crazy deep. Now, also on that little panel, we have a jetpack and a light. So we do come with a built-in light, which we can use, but watch our power level. Look at that. Look at it fall. So there's 3 different levels for the light. There's low, medium, and high. And of course, the high level of power, we use tons of power. But Arthur is feeding us power from his solar panel too as well. And there's also a jetpack. Never had it, never used it. Don't know. That's part of the game that I haven't experienced yet. We've also crash landed with this guy. He's a spider bot. I've learned from people that I talked to during my stream on Crash Test Indie that this guy is base defense and personal defense for us if we do get attacked. He will help defend us, which is great. I've never seen it. I've never made it to that far in the game. And yeah, I guess we'll get there. So first things first, we need to make sure that we've got power in our center CPH, and we need to start looking for resources because, like I said, there's lots of things that we need to upgrade even right away and build right away, and we can't do that without some copper, tin, and iron, and maybe even some lithium. So first things first, we don't have a source of power, a natural source of power. We have, currently on us, we have, what is it, like one piece of wood left? So we've been feeding this thing wood, which is terrible. It's a terrible power source. You can see it's burning wood planks for 32 seconds, and it provides a certain amount of joules. And coal is a much better source for burning, and it looks like we actually have a surface amount of coal right here, which is great. So to extract that coal, we can't just mine it. We've got some basic tools. Actually, should we talk about our tools first? Yeah, let's talk about our tools really quickly. So the tool that we have in our hand right now is our basic constructor. And of course, we can use this to remove objects and build and all that kind of stuff. So if I right click, I can remove a block, just like kind of Minecrafty, right? So remove blocks like so. And I can also, so the thing that I just picked up, which is, it's dirt, I believe, it's actually unknown. So we can actually research that and get some research points. But we can also use this using the left mouse button and highlight it on 6. We can put that material back. Now, this is actually kind of important right at the beginning because you always start with this little, oh, look, there's coal right here too as well. Oh, fantastic. So we've got lots of coal to start with. So at the beginning, it seems like every time I start this game, you always start with a wall that I can't go up, and you can't jump over stuff. Like really, jumping is useless. So the space bar is jump. And a lot of times what I have to do, or what you have to do, is make sure that you can actually make this passable so you can actually walk over it. There are other ways, and we'll talk about those in a second. But you always start with this wall, and you got to make it so that you can actually walk up it. And walk up easily because if you run out of power, start running out of power, you go into hypothermia. And hypothermia is a terrible, terrible thing. Hypothermia will make it so that you can't see anything. It actually destroys your vision of the world. You can't see anymore. So the way you have to make it so that it's easy to get back to your base with your limited vision. And if you've got a big wall like this, sometimes you get caught up on the wall. At least I do anyway. And then it's really difficult. This way, we've always got a way that we can just walk up, no problem. Now, there is some other ways to transport ourselves, and a more fun way, and that is with our, let's go to it here. Hold on. This guy, it's your grappling hook. So the grappling hook works. It will take you up ascending slopes. It'll work laterally, but not that great. It is designed, at least the beginning grappling hook, I've heard that you can upgrade this thing, but it is designed to take you up slopes, and it is very effective at that. So there we go. Fire. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful thing. It is probably the best way to get around, but it's also the most dangerous way to get around, and it's really easy to get yourself really hurt doing stupid things. And when I say it only goes in upward slopes, so I can use it to go up very easily. But if I wanted to get over to this peak here and I fired this grappling hook, even if I, it might move me forward a little bit, but it's not going to take me very far because it's a downward slope. So the way to get over there is, of course, go down a little bit and then fire it and hope that you don't hurt yourself on the way. So you hear that crunch? Yeah, that was me landing on the ground, and breaking my legs happens all the time in this game. And as long as you don't run out of those hearts, you're okay. But like I said, you do use power when you're healing. So you got to be careful. If you're in the middle of the night and you don't have Arthur's solar panel filling you up with power, you could run out of power really easily by just having your suit heal you. So, and there's no, as far as I know, there's no way to turn off that healing function to save power, but that would be kind of cool if it existed. But maybe it's there, I just don't know. Like I said, I've only experienced a small amount of this game. So, on the keyboard, we can also zoom in. And one of the wonderful things about the zoom function is, well, this game, distance doesn't mean as much as it does in some games. So, I can destroy a block here just as easily as I can destroy a block over here. So I can actually destroy these blocks at this distance. It doesn't matter. I can research these plants, these mysterious plants. I can actually do some research on these plants from this distance. Whoops, it's a little bit harder to target at this distance, of course. But yeah, I can do all the things I could do close up, but at range, with no problem. I can build, I can remove. Yeah, I could actually go to build and go to the snow, and I'll just zoom in here so you can see it. But I could actually build from this distance too as well, no problem. The only thing I cannot do is collect those resources that I just dug out from that ground. I actually have to get closer for that. But the fact that distance has very little meaning in this game can be really beneficial. For example, let's just give a really neat example of this. So I can be all the way, let's use our grappling hook because that's just a faster way to get around. So I can be all the way, actually let's go around to the other side here. I thought it was on this side. You can actually use the central power hub to fill yourself with power from any distance as long as you can see it. I can't see it here. Hold on, what side? I'm missing which side it is. The key is you have to be able to see it, right? Oh no, that is the right side. Okay, so that device there is the central power hub. Not only that, is I can put resources into the central power hub and any other objects on the base. So I can hit E and access the central power hub even from this distance or any distance as long as I can see it. And I can take power from the central power hub. I can put power into it. I can add resources to the central power hub. I can do all those things I could do right up close, which is really, really cool and something to remember in this game because often I forget. Or I can click on the little battery thing there, so the power storage, and I can power up directly from that too as well. So isn't that cool? Kind of cool. I can also put battery right back into it with the E button. But yeah, that doesn't work right now. I don't know. Maybe it's full. I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. That is a basic rundown of the basic functions. We also have we can craft things out in the wild too as well by hitting the C key, and it's a different menu from your manufactory. There are you can build different things, and the things that you can build that are the same require different resources. So, for example, a mini, well, I'll show you more of this later, but yeah, and there's also some aesthetic things we can build. We can build a snowman out of snow. We need 50 snow. Let's build a snowman just for fun, just to show you guys what a snowman would look like in this game. So yeah, I'm assuming that the snowman came out with Christmas, like as a Christmas bonus or something. Just like there's a pumpkin and some other stuff too as well. Yeah, we've got more than enough now. So now we can take all this snow resource and you put that to good use and build a snowman out in the middle of nowhere. So we've crafted the snowman. Now we hit 0 on the keyboard because it's in our bar there. And yay, we've got a snowman. Wow, is that a creepy looking? That's super creepy. Wow. Okay. Yes. Yeah, we built a snowman. Let's put that near our base at least. Oh. Oh, no. Okay. Whew. I thought he disappeared, but no, he's still in our inventory. Okay, so let's go back to our base, and just for fun, we'll put the snowman close to our base. Because there's not a lot of uses for snow right now, and I don't like this. This is going to bother me. So we're going to put the snowman right here for now as our mascot. We will call him Jim Bob. Jim Bob the snowman. He looks like a Halloween snowman. Like it's a witch. It's a witch. Wow. Very, some people have said this game is very creepy. I agree. There is some really creepy elements to this game. You can also use the R button to rotate anything you put down too as well. So yeah, that's about the last aesthetic thing that we're going to place for some time. It is getting dark and we've done nothing. So first things first, because it's getting dark, we're going to put down some lights. So these cost 5 coal to make, these torches. They also are a source of heat if you're running out of, if things are getting kind of terrible for you, out of power, and it's getting cold, you can place down these lights and stand on one or be near one, and of course heal your hypothermia temporarily. And yeah, well, another thing that heals your hypothermia is breaking your legs. Apparently cures your hypothermia temporarily. So if you're having trouble seeing, fall off a cliff. Yes, it works. Okay, so we need to get some coal up and running very quickly because we just need power for our station. So there happens to be a coal resource right here. We can go and we can check to see how much coal resource is here by holding down the right mouse button on the coal resource. Oh, it's actually a new block. So we have to scan the new block, or we have to research the new block first. So we have a few things in our queue because we scanned some plants and we scanned. So there was some rough hewn rock there. There was some dirt and an orange glow pod. Yes, we scanned that too as well. And the coal. So the coal, this is now identified as coal. So when I hold down the right mouse button, it'll tell me how much is in that vein. There's 101,000 units of coal there. Sounds like a lot, isn't it? Or doesn't it? It's not. It's actually next to nothing. But it is enough to get us going. And we do have another large coal vein just over here. We can actually see how much is in this one. So yeah, like I said, the first couple episodes here is going to be just a lot of us talking about the game. So there's 558,000 there. That's a more substantial amount of coal, which is really good. We've got enough to get us started anyway. So let's start extracting some of this coal from the ground. We can't just dig it up. If we try to dig it, we're just gonna get rubble. We can hold down the left control button to remove a coal block and get a couple units of coal, but it's honestly, we're just basically destroying that coal if we do that. There is times that you do that when you're trying to get past whatever, it's not important right now, but you can actually do that. All right, so we can put down a block that helps mine that coal out of the ground, and we just need to throw some power into it. Where do we get the power? From our suit right now, because really there's no other options. Eventually there's going to be other ways to power these devices, but right now, like other games of this genre, like Factorio, not that I want to talk about Factorio too much because it's a completely different game, but like Factorio, oh, see how it's getting hot here? It's because we're standing on this little torch. They're called torches, the lights, and it's getting really hot, and we don't have the power in our suit to prevent to keep our temperature regulated. So we have to get some power back in our suit because we put it all in the mine. So the mine's going to keep working away and gathering coal, and a couple ways we can get our coal. So we can, from any distance, actually what we're going to do is we're going to make a little place so that we can see it more accessible from the main base. So from any distance, we can hit E on the keyboard and go to here. We can add power to our mine, as well as pull coal from the mine simply by left clicking on coal ore. Or another thing we can do is when it's got actually coal in the hopper, we'll wait until it's got coal in the hopper there. So bang. So once it's got coal in the hopper, we can hit Q on the keyboard on the mine, and it'll eject the coal to right beside it, and then you just heard me pick it up there, so we just got 2 off the ground. So there's just two different ways of getting stuff manually from your hoppers. Sometimes because they in this difficulty level with sparse resources, these hoppers I think can only hold 24 pieces of ore, I believe. It might be 26, I'm not sure. And once they reach that point, they will stop working. So sometimes you just need to quickly eject the ore from the mine so it just keeps going. So, you know, I may be working here and I'll just go, oh, it's full, and hit Q on the keyboard, it ejects it, and I'll come and collect that whenever. I don't believe things disappear off the ground for quite some time. If they do ever, I'm not sure. I don't know. The stuff may despawn. Oh, and this fire will eventually go out, by the way, and we'll have more access to stuff directly under it. But that doesn't mean we can't still mine that coal that's under it. But I think we're good now for coal. And we just need to keep coal pumping into here, get that hub power level up, and eventually get this automated so that we can get a conveyor belt that goes from this coal mine to the CPH, which can be any point on the CPH. So right here, for example. So we're going to build a conveyor belt to here. Now, to get a conveyor belt, we need to get some other resources. We need to get some copper. Without copper, we're not building any conveyor belts. So how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, let's make sure that we're up to date on our research. Oh, we've got one unknown material. That was the rubble that we collected from trying to manually mine the coal resource. Yeah. So, and like I said, you can always go back to your help and go, I'm not sure, ores. Yeah. So under ores, it'll tell you about all the ores that you've currently researched. We've only researched one ore, and as time goes on, that'll open up. So it'll also tell us all the different blocks that we've researched too as well. Yeah, materials. Yeah, the different materials that we have access to. Some of these are bonus stuff that comes with the add-ons that you can get for the game, the developer support stuff. Yeah, like the Dapper Scale and Wall. We're not going to worry about those right now. Most of those are just aesthetic anyway. So we need to get some copper. Well, how are we going to get copper? We need to ping the ground to find out where the unknown stuff is. This will ping anything that we have not researched. So that includes the tree blocks. So you see these trees? It's kind of hard to see. We should probably keep some coal on us. Let's go get a backup supply of coal so that we can build torches anywhere, so you guys in YouTube land can actually see what we're doing. So every 5 coal, we can build a torch. And we can just do that. It actually automatically does it. So from our menu here, if we're on tab F1, so 2, you'll notice on the keyboard. And if I hit 2, it'll automatically build this out of the 5 coal that we had. We're not going to put it here. See, we're starting to get hypothermia. When you get hypothermia, it gets really hard to see. So you can actually stand on one of these torches and notice our internal temperature going up. Yeah, so of course, the best thing to do is keep powered up, but sometimes you can't always do that, right? So the reason we ran out of power there is because when we ping, it costs a lot of power. Watch this. When I hit ping, left mouse button, ping unknown. Yeah, it brought us down by 30 units of power. So you really have to watch what you're doing. If you're doing a lot of exploring, you have to watch your power. And only ping when you really need to. So what I'm trying to do is find something that's relatively close to the surface that we can go exploit. And right now we can't tell what any of this is. So we're going to try and get rid of some of the stuff that we can just get rid of some of the stuff that we know what it's going to be, but we need to research it so it no longer shows up on our pings, like these leaves. So we're going to hold down the right mouse button on the leaves, get that into our queue, and then we're going to go to the wood as well, get that in our queue. Might as well scan this mushroom while it's here. And I think we got dirt already. Then there's going to be rock, which is a little bit deeper, so we might as well just go get the rock out of the way. Oh, this might... No, this is rough-hewn rock, so we've already got that, so we'll get those out of the way. It'll get easier and easier and easier to figure out what's actually going to be real ore and what's not. So we just gotta, you know, so leaves, right? So that's identified. Then we've got tree trunks and we've got glow shrooms. All right, so now we can run our ping again. Let's stock up on power and make sure that our CPH has some coal in it. Perfect. And go gather the coal from here. I use the Q button there. It's just a little bit easier. Faster, anyway, than hitting E and then grabbing it from here. It's just faster sometimes, especially with a close mine like that. And then we can do another ping. So there, now it's showing, okay, so we've got some stuff directly below us. Now it's not showing the coal because that's already known, right? If we ping known, it's going to show us anything we've already identified. But we want to ping unknown because we want to, oh, see, now it's got everything on the scanner here. So we'll just wait until that all calms down. You can get really overwhelmed if you click on everything all at once. We can also ping the air, and I have no idea what this does yet. Here I go, choking again during an episode. Perfect. So we can ping the air, and that's showing something up in the air. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. So it's pinging something. There's something, there's like a halo over top of the base. I don't know what that means. And by the way, I have not watched anybody else play this game. I have learned everything on my own, and I kind of want to keep it this way. I don't want to watch anybody. If you guys want to offer some tips and stuff in the comments, that's great. I'm always down for tips. But I don't want to watch anybody play it. I'm still enjoying the process of discovering stuff in this game. So there's something directly below here. So let's go find out what that is. So we're gonna dig a hole. And often what I do is before we actually get too crazy with this hole here, let's get ourselves out of here for a second. Often before I start digging a hole, I will build a way to get out of the hole first. So I will build a little platform just above the hole. For, well, a couple of reasons. One, this way I know where the hole is that I'm digging. Although we would obviously know where this one is pretty... Oh, let's see, I walked into the fire there really quick. We would know where this one is because it's super close to the base. But it also gives us a way to get out of the hole very quickly using our... the grappling hook. I always forget what it's called. Okay, so let's go back and we'll scan here again. Yeah, so it should be right below here. There's something right below. And also, when you're digging, a nice little handy tool is the G button will launch a temporary light. It does use a small amount of power, but it's much less commitment than a regular light. It doesn't last for that long, but it gives you actually a nice little light as you're going down, because notice the light goes down with us. So yeah, we found something. We've run into something. So we're going to scan that. It's an unknown block. I'm assuming it's tin. It looks kind of like tin. So, and then we're going to use our grappling button, our grappling hook to get out. See how convenient that was to get out? Very, very handy. So now we're going to go back to our research station. And once again, I apologize to those people that know about this game and know everything there is to know about this game. We need to explain things. So yeah, we just found some tin, which is great. Now, tin is going to be one of the essential minerals for just about everything we build. But I'm really interested more right now in finding a little bit of copper. Well, I want both. I mean, I want it all, right? So now it's showing everything but tin. It's not going to show us tin. It's going to show us everything but tin and coal, because we've already found tin and coal. So this must be either iron or copper. I'm assuming it's a small copper vein, though, if it's copper, or a small ore vein, either one. So let's do the same thing we did as last time, and we're going to, oh, how's our power? Actually, you know what we're going to do? So we're going to build our platform first. We're going to build it right here. So we're going to go 7, 7, 7, 7. And this way, of course, we know where to go to come back to find this too as well. Not that it would be that hard to find, like I said at the beginning here, but this is good practice, just good practice, good habits to get into during your games to always find out where you're supposed to be going. So let's go back. We're going to power up. And actually what we can do is we can go E and we can go take power, like so. And we can even add some more coal to the CPH. See how it's running low on power there? Yeah, we need to be better at putting power in there. Okay, so there we go. We're ready to go, and we're gonna go down, And maybe do another scan here. Oh, we're a little off, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. We'll go down. We can use our G button, get a little bit of light as we go. So there's something way deep, but we're more interested in this stuff that's right here. So I think it's a little off. I lost it. Yeah, sometimes it sticks, when you scan, sometimes it sticks around longer than others. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so let's see here. Rubble, there we go. This is unknown, so we'll go and we'll identify this. We'll have to make a new hole, because if we're going to extract it, that's kind of silly, kind of roundabout way to... Hold on, where are we here? Oh, there we are. Perfect. And there's the upward. Okay, there we go. Yay, I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes I hit the wrong buttons, because that's what I do. Now, you can actually get yourself into big trouble with that grappling hook. Sometimes, if you point straight up, it'll actually attach to something somewhere, and you'll end up going flying. So the easy way to get out of that, for example, if I accidentally launch my grappling hook to these trees, like so, and I know it's happening, I can actually just hit it again down, straight down, and I'll stop. So it's a good way to get out of it. Okay, so let's research what we found there. I bet you that is copper. Copper! Yay! Awesome! So, we definitely want to get access to that copper as soon as possible, and we do have... You start off with 3 mines total. So we've got 1 for our coal, which we're going to grab some more coal here, and we're going to power up our CPH. There we go. And you start off with 3 mines. So you got 1 for your coal, 1 for your copper, 1 for your tin. And then after that, you're going to have to figure out how to make more. And you need iron to make more, and tin, and copper. So you're going to have to swap some mines around. It's all about resource management. So let's change this a little bit. You can use a grappling hook to slow yourself down too on the way down. So I want the tunnel to be going straight up from around here. Hold on, let's put up a light here, because we're gonna be down here for a while. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. That way you guys can kind of see what's going on. Oh, it goes higher. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna go up. We're gonna raise ourselves up here and dig. Yeah, kind of get some graphical errors there. There we go. There we go. So now we found the top of the copper. So this is not a huge copper mine, or a copper vein. Not huge. It is only 53,000. It's actually tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. But it's enough to get us maybe a couple of conveyor belts. Let's get another light here. Yes, there we go. And we're going to dig straight up from here. There we go. And there is the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, it's going to be tricky to get out of here with the grappler. But there we go. There we go. And we're going to build our little thing here. Our little pedestal. Building these is really important. It just, you know, you don't miss it, or you don't realize how important it is until you don't have one. And just for the record, I'm not making anything really look pretty right now. We will definitely have some episodes where we just do stuff to make the base look pretty, for sure. But for now, I don't care what the base looks like. We just want to get things up and running. We need to get as much goodies flowing in as possible. So I'm just destroying this old thing so I don't get confused, and we'll even fill in this hole, because really it's just a place for us to fall down. So yeah, there we go. We've got some copper resource here. Excellent. And what I'm going to do, because it's so close to the surface, is we're just going to make some stairs leading up to it. Actually, we probably shouldn't even bothered with the we can build conveyor belts straight up, believe it or not, in this game, which is actually kind of funny. Physics are a funny thing in this game. Like Minecraft, it's the same physics as Minecraft, in that you can hurt yourself when you're falling, but other things don't fall in the same way. So things can defy gravity pretty easily. Oh, so this kind of opens up. Actually, it opens up. Okay. So there, now we've got some stairs leading right down to our copper. We can actually open that up right up. Might as well, right? Might as well just make it. Although that does give us a nice big place to fall down. So I don't know. I might change my mind on that. So yeah, we just want to make it nice and easily accessible, and we can put a mine in here right now. Perfect. There we go. So, and then we can power that up, add some power. And if we can make that somehow so that we can see it from our base, we can of course access all those minerals, the copper, as it mines right from our base, as long as we can see it. So that's the trick, right? Because distance has no meaning. which I really love about this game. I think it's great. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to arrange that. We might be able to see it from here or something. I don't know. In the meantime, we're just going to have to go back and forth. We'll figure it out. It's a very small mine, so do I want to spend a whole bunch of resources building infrastructure for that mine? I don't know. I'm not quite sure yet. Well, let's clear out this mine. Coal, perfect. Power CPH. Yeah, some maintenance stuff, like until we get some automation, there's a lot of running back and forth. And these are the parts that I'm going to cut out for you guys eventually, so that you don't have to endure, because especially playing on sparse resources, there's going to be a lot of this just going back and forth. So there we go. We're going to power this up at full. And one of the first things we're going to need is, of course, some storage hoppers to go beside these so that we can store more than 24 on each one of them. And the first hopper is like 10, and then there's a hopper that can store 100. So we're going to build those two as well. So we've got some tin down here, and I think we're just going to, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. We might dig a hole straight down and then make it go, make the conveyor go straight across and then straight up or something. I'm not sure. In the meantime, we might as well build our mine. Let's get some power. Yes. And we'll get our third mine running. So then we have tin, copper, and coal operating already. Let's give ourselves a little bit more space to work with here. I'm not notoriously known personally. Like when I play this game, I haven't spent a lot of time, of course, like I said, making things look good or giving it adequate light even. But I'm gonna have to get into the habit of making sure that I make it so that you guys can see what's going on, which means opening things up just a little bit more for you. I'm pretty used to just working with these tiny little single tunnels, but yeah, I think making them a little bit bigger, and I'm taking my time at digging this out so that I don't make too many mistakes. So there we go. It's a little bit bigger, and of course we'll get some light down in here. Yes, on both sides. Yes, there we go. And let's build our mine. Might as well just put that right here for now. It doesn't really matter. This is a much larger resource. We'll just check that in a second. Looks like it might be close to 500,000 or something. We'll see. Ooh, all of our power is gone. Hold on, let's go back up. But we are gaining power because it's daytime, and Arthur has his solar panels on him. So let's go back up here, grab some power quickly. Stock up the CPH. Ooh, look, our hub level is almost full of power, which is great. That's fantastic. Okay, now let's top this up, and then we'll check to see how much tin we have here. 235,000. Oh, that's not nearly as much as I was hoping. So yeah, that's the other thing about playing with sparse levels, is that we're going to run through these resources fairly quickly. So the goal here is to build a base that's basically, we've got the infrastructure at the base to take resources from any direction and from any source, and put it into sort of, we're going to have a refining area. We're going to have an area just dedicated to research, because research expands beyond this little device here and becomes, like I said, a little bit more involved. We're going to have a research area, and then we're going to have an area just for manufacturing. Then we're going to have an area for stamping, and you're going to see it all. But guys, that is the first episode of FortressCraft Evolved. This is going to be a long, wonderful, extremely enjoyable journey. Did I mention that the bigger our base gets, there's hostile aliens here. There's hostile aliens here, by the way, which sort of adds a whole new element of fear and eeriness to this game, and really exciting. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of FortressCraft Evolved, Day 1. All right, take care.